The league announcing its complete 5-game international series schedule. So 3 in London, home of the Jaguars, then Tom Brady in the league's first scheduled matchup in Germany, and wrapping up with the trip south of the border. You boys like Mexico? We got some unique storylines and odds on the DK Sportsbook to dive into. Good morning, everybody. I am Emerson Latzia, hosting a show called The Sweat, presented by DraftKings. Let's dive into all that fun stuff right meow with our pigskin panel consisting of DraftKings contributors Reid Fowler, Geoff Ulrich, Pearce, Dietrich. First matchup in London, gentlemen, pairing up Minnesota and New Orleans with the Vikings as a teeny tiny favorite, just 1 point. The next week, though, sees the Giants and the Packers with Green Bay as a 6.5-point favorite. Which lines or totals jump out to you here, Geoff?
You know, they're both. It's interesting. Like there's actually probably some value in jumping on some of these lines early. There's some risk involved because injuries can happen, but I look at both these lines and I like the Saints quite a bit. I mean, I know that the Vikings have a higher win total right now at 9 versus the Saints at 8, but I really like what the Saints did with the draft. You also look at Kirk Cousins and his record against winning teams. Hashtag not good. So I think, with the Saints adding Olave and Penning at the draft, I really like that move. They shore up their O-line. I think they're going to be a solid team. I think they're going to be a tough team to run against for the Vikings. I like that. And then you look at the Packers and the Giants. The Packers are minus 500 to make the playoffs, and the Giants are plus 225. And I think that number from the Giants is even a little inflated. I think you'll probably see this Packers line. It could be closer to 10 by the time this game actually goes off, which is like 10 months from now.
All right, Reid, how do you feel about it? Is it a good time to jump on any of these numbers?
No,
what?
It's not. Give me a break. I understand what Geoff's doing, and we have to do it. We have to take it. And congratulations to our technical director, by the way. But
for what? Do you want to explain to people what?
No. It's not my story to tell.
Okay.
But this is way too early. I mean, it's happening in 10 months. You know how much can happen in 10 months? A lot of stuff can happen in 10 months.
You know what else can happen, Reid? The Packers can become minus 12 favorites instead of minus 6. Mark the tape.
But who's Aaron Rodgers going to pass to? Is he going to do his best Tom Brady or Nick Foles impression and pass to himself? Who the hell is he going to pass to? Unless OBJ walks through there, unless someone else walks through there right now, the Packers have no one to pass to. So if you think Aaron Jones can run the ball, can line up out wide 1,000% of the time, the Packers could be 3.5-point favorites. And we don't know the Giants yet. I'm not saying that they're good.
I know the Giants.
We don't know. Yeah, we know the Giants historically, Geoff, with Gettleman and with the laundry list of bad coaches that they've had. And now they have Brian Daboll. We don't know. There's too many question marks. So if that's the case, I'd actually side with the Giants getting a touchdown. How do we know what the Packers are going to be without Devontae Adams? We just don't know. So if there's any number in this way too early prognostication, it is Giants plus 6.5. Give me all the points for the blue.
All right, whose side are you on here, Pearce?
And you got Geoff, who is following the company line and making the producers happy. And then you've got Reid, who is basically saying this is ridiculous. I can't believe we're doing this segment. So I'm kind of in a tough spot here. So I will go ahead and stay on the side of our producers.
Yeah!
Coming on this show. And you know what you got to do? Go get a reverse mortgage, take all of your money, and parlay all of the underdogs. Why not? It's only 6 months from now, and these teams are going to be riddled with injuries. So go for it. Have fun. Bet a bunch of Euro games.
Hell
do the exotic
yes.
mortgages. Do exactly what Pearce wanted you to do in 2009 and do all the exotic mortgages right now and, just be underwater in this economy. God, what are we talking about?
Viking Saints can be kind of sexy, though, too, because Kirk Cousins, Jameis, Dalvin, Alvin, Justin, and Michael Thomas, kind of some underrated big play potential there, Reid Fowler.
Is Theodore in there as well? Sounds like the
I tell you what, let's get to the game everybody's talking about. America's team is also going to be returning to its home away from home here. The Jags will face off against Russell Wilson, who is now captaining the Broncos. Jacksonville is 6.5-point underdog. Kind of crazy here. But Pearce, they're a legit 500 team over there, going 4-4 in London. The Broncos are winless over there, Pearce. Yeah, 0-1. Tell me the home field advantage is a reason to hop on the plus 6.5 right now.
Sure, why not? You know,
Yeah!
I've been on here saying the Jags are going to win the Super Bowl, so I might as well double down on the crazy.
Yes.
And it's not even that crazy. They played well in Europe, whatever that is, whatever that means. But I wouldn't be crazy to take the money line. I think the Jags are going to be better, and I'm not a big fan of Russell Wilson. I think he's done for. I don't think he's got much left. I wasn't really impressed by Denver last year. I don't think Denver's made that many improvements. And, you know, the arrow's pointing upward for the Jaguars. They're helping, you know, they've made their offensive line better. Their defense is better. Why not? Take the money line.
Yeah, Reid, Jacksonville should be improved under Doug Peterson here, dude.
Yes, thank you. This goes exact to my point in the beginning, is if you want to take an arm out on your mortgage, if you want to do all these things, you might as well do it on someone like Emerson's team, the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. It's Doug Peterson. We don't know Brian Daboll's offense. We don't know Doug Peterson's Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a potential new look. So why not decide you're getting points, right? And we don't know what Denver's going to be like. I know Geoff is a Russell Wilson stan. He is going to tell us how dumb we are for betting against Russell Wilson in a better offense in Denver than he had in Seattle. Cortland Sutton, right? Jerry Jeudy, and now you got Javonte Williams. That's a 1-2-3 punch that you really like. And Denver's defense is solid. Now, the thing about Russell Wilson, and especially this offense with those receivers, is they historically not been healthy. Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy have not been healthy. And if those guys are out, it's going to be Seattle 2.0. So get the points, baby, with the Jags.
Jeffrey, come on. Come on.
Russell Wilson is done? Like, what?
Yes.
What is going on this show today? Seriously.
Travis Etienne
the guy is like
RB1
a season and a half removed from like a 6-game stretch where he basically played better than anyone in the league. Look, again, I just come back. You got to look at the longer term odds here when you're looking at these game lines. And I think this line is going to be a lot bigger in favor of the Broncos by the time we get there. The Broncos are tied with the Chargers to win the AFC West. The Jags are plus 450 to make the playoffs. The Broncos are minus 150. There's a bigger gap between these two teams than 6.5 points. And if you want to bet on the Jags, that's fine. But like, you're basically saying, okay, something disastrous is going to happen to the Broncos. Like Russ is going to get hurt. They're going to have no receivers, or it's just going to blow up in their face. Both these teams do have new head coaches, but my God, it's Russell Wilson. He's not done. He's going to absolutely light up the league in Denver the next couple of years. No, you take the Broncos 6.5. This one's going to get to 10 too by the time the game goes off.
Germany's going to get its first taste of NFL action, so it only makes sense that Tom Brady is part of that rollout. Taking on the Seahawks, speaking of Russell Wilson's old team, who are projected to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. By the way, since 2017 here, guys, the under is hit on 8 of 13 games over there. Is that a trend to look at for this one with a total of 46.5, Reid?
Yeah. Look, unless Tampa Bay puts up 30 plus, right, which is completely viable. I mean, look at that line. This is the Russell Wilson wake of them not having anybody. I mean, what did they get, right? What did they get this year? It's pretty much nothing. It's Geno Smith. DK Metcalf looks like he wants to stay in Seattle, so that's kind of nice. They picked up Nwosu from the Los Angeles Chargers. But speaking of that, there's no pressure that they can apply on this quarterback. That is the David Hasselhoff of the NFL. This guy is, I mean, he's going to be playing until he's 50. And when you got Brady, who throws the ball one of the quickest, right? His release time is so quick. And you talk about Seattle, they were 7th worst in pressure rating. So the one thing that scares me is that Tampa Bay could put up 30 plus, and then this would be just 2 touchdowns for Seattle in garbage time that could go over this. I'm in Jeff's camp of waiting on this, or potentially waiting on this one, that this line could move down, right? This could move down. He thinks those lines could move up. This number could move down with how bad Seattle's going to be in the beginning of the season. So I want to kind of wait until this is maybe 43.5, maybe 44, maybe most likely 43.5, and then bet the over.
All right, it's Tom Brady's comeback tour here, Geoff. Bucs are still quite loaded. And there's some intrigue with Seattle. Like, is Pete Carroll actually going to roll out Geno Smith or Drew Lock as his quarterback?
Yeah, that's what he's doing. Yes, that's Pete Carroll. He thinks he's smarter than like the NFL, and then he can win with those guys. And yes, no, I don't want to wait on the number. I want to take the under today, right now. You want Drew Lock to score 14 points against the Tampa Bay defense? Good luck. Seattle was 6-10-1 to get to the under last year with Russell Wilson. This team is not going to score any points. Tampa Bay is going to go over there, put up 20 points, and their defense is going to take over. 46.5. This is, again, and we even have the trend of unders being, the favorite in the away game, in the, the overseas games. No, the 46.5. It's too big. I think the under right now is actually a good bet.
Is this going to be a feisty matchup, Pearce?
Yes, it will. Take the over. Seattle is going to come back to life now that Russell Wilson is out of town. We know those receivers are good. We know the running backs are good. They've improved the offensive line. What was the weak link in Seattle? Look at what they did last year with Russell Wilson. It was Russell Wilson. He couldn't make the plays that he used to make. He couldn't get the ball down the field. He wasn't as accurate on those big plays to Metcalf and Lockett. He hit them occasionally, but not very often. Now that he's gone, watch Baker Mayfield come in and start hitting those big bombs. And also, they've got 3 solid running backs there with a good offensive line. And not to mention, Tampa's going to have no problem scoring points. They also need to sign Cole Beasley if he ever gets done recording his latest rap album. But I think if you add Cole Beasley to Tampa, they're going to be unstoppable.
Geoff, does your opinion change on this game if they do land a Baker Mayfield or Nick Foles?
I'm going to be serious. No.
Okay. Because that was a serious question.
First time he's serious about Nick Foles.
Pete Carroll's going to run the ball. He drafted a running back. He's got 3 starting running backs. What do you think Pete Carroll's going to do? The games with Seattle are going to be hyper ugly this year. I don't know what honestly, as every day I go on, the things Pearce says can't get any crazier, and then we come on the show, and lo and behold, Russell Wilson is the problem with the Seahawks. So I don't know, man.
What do you have something to say, Pearce? It looked like you did.
So when you run a run-heavy offense, they have to bring safeties down. That allows you to take the deep shots. It works perfectly for their system. That's what they do. That's how you get these DK Metcalf Lockett bombs.
Look at that. Reid loves it. Yeah, Reid, incoming contract extension for DK Metcalf. I don't know, there's some reports out there trying to get it done. One more for you guys. South of the border, we're going to see the 49ers and Cardinals, a divisional showdown on a Monday night in Mexico. Will Kyler Murray be happy then? Will Trey Lance be under center for the 49ers? Hopkins should be back. Don't forget about the drama we've seen with the turf, the grass there in this stadium. It's hard to see this game unfolding without some kind of drama, Geoff. Another early lean, maybe towards the under, 48-point total right now?
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to lean, again, look, I'm trying to talk in hypotheticals. You don't have to bet every single future game on the Euro Tour schedule. It's out on the DraftKings Sportsbook right now. But if I'm looking at this game and you're saying, like, I'm picking a side today, I am picking the under here. Both these teams, Arizona went 8-10 to the under last year, 8-12 to the under for San Francisco. Same head coaches, same teams. Both these teams love to run the ball. San Francisco 4th in run plays per game. Arizona 12th. Arizona's bringing back James Conner so they can run him into the defensive line for 2 yards again. This game, I think, has a very good chance of hitting the under. You're going to see a 24-22 game kind of thing, closer. But San Francisco will probably prevail. But 48, that actually seems pretty big to me right now. And you asked me to take a side. I'm taking the under today.
All right, Pearce, take a side.
I will also take the under, with all due respect to Mexico on Cinco de Mayo. If you remember last time that they played, I think it was the last time, they had real air pollution issues. And if you can't breathe, it's really hard to play football. It's really hard to score a lot of points. I'll take the under. Also, these teams this season, I like both the offenses, but they battled injuries all season long. I don't see why that would change moving forward. I mean, there's a really good chance that we could have backup quarterbacks starting for both of the teams in this game.
I mean, Reid, if you can't breathe, it's hard to live.
This is the the air pollution, but also the elevation. Right,
yeah.
That's the other thing in Mexico. There's a lot of elevation, but this is why Pearce should be the new Mr. Unlimited. This guy brings umpire stats, wind stats, air pollution stats. He is just a wealth of useless knowledge that we need on the sweat. But I'm with these guys. Give me the under. And if Trey Lance is under center and he's essentially playing as a rookie, right, in his second year, he's going to be running a lot more than he's going to be passing. So yeah, give me the under.